So I told you I've had people ask me for money and give me money. True story. Next up, we've got the super talented Daniel J Blancas.
Hello, I love it here already. I've been to Bumsteds before at the last location. They'll put peanut butter on anything. I love that shit. I wonder, what's the weight limit on this pole? Can we find out what the weight limit on this pole is? Everyone wants to see me do it, but I want to be safe about it.
Safety first.
Safety first. Recently, no, not joking, my back is destroyed. I had to help a friend move 3 months ago. I'm still healing from it. When somebody asks you to help them move, it's that dreaded call. Hey man, I'm moving into a new house. Beep, beep, beep. Hey man, do you help me move? And it was easy. Before, your friends were broke, you were 20, you had like 5 couches to move, right? That was easy. My buddy's been earning, he's upgraded, he's got like a nice house and shit, he's got a bunch of shit. I'm like, buddy, you can upgrade to a professional fucking moving company. Spare my back, spare my life, save me. These TVs, I had to move 8 of them, 8 flat screen TVs. They're heavy now. Anyone know every inch you add on to your flat screen TV, that's another goddamn pound I gotta carry? It's terrible. When did they start getting so heavy? Why are they so heavy? Why do you need to watch your TV that big in your house? Your houses aren't that big. That big in y'all's houses. The best and the worst thing about helping somebody move is that you're not a professional. Hear me out. You can break something. You gotta break one thing. I broke something sentimental my buddy had. He owned that shit for 10 years. He bonded with it, and I broke that shit, and I felt so good. I don't need you to pay me, but I'm gonna break a little bit of your shit, right? I broke a lizard's house. And we're talking about weird pets. My buddy's got like a couple of boa constrictors. He's got like a skink, and the skink is, it's different than a skank. It's a little different. It's all blue-tongued and shit, and I never want to help him move again. He can die in that house. I'm not killing him in that house. He can haunt that house for the rest of his life. I'm not going to move another fucking couch. The worst part is when you have to move. I'm lucky. I don't own anything. I realized when I was moving stuff, like after 2 or 3 moves when you're in your 20s, you don't own anything sentimental. You don't own anything nice. Everything's either from a thrift store or I found on the side of the road. You know? And I know some of you got one of those finds, you got one of those thrift store side of the road couches. I hope you don't have a side of the road bed. Don't do that to yourself. Steal a bed from the store. You know? I had to move recently too, and I moved from like a nice, quiet neighborhood to a really loud trailer park. You know, and like I don't know any of the people who live in the trailer park, but I hear them fighting. I get to know them. I know how shitty they are, like cleaning dishes. I can hear them from the house over, like, oh man, is this the day? Is this the day I get on a true crime podcast as a witness? And I don't care. I won't bat an eye. I'll be the one right there, like, peering past the police tape, like, let me see some shit, you know? The wife will be in the septic tank. There's going to be a baby who OD'd off that Gatorade bottle of meth, you know? Like, the kids are going to feed the parents to the pit bulls. To be honest, I haven't met those pit bulls. They're probably pretty cool. They seem nice. You know, don't judge all dogs. Unless the dog's like an asshole and you know it for a fact. Flip. You used to give you a lot of time up here. That's so fun. And that gives you a little bit of time to talk about like a PSA, kind of like a service announcement thing, you know. Don't try and fuck your bud tender or bartender. Don't try and fuck them. There's no chance you're going to seduce them at their job. You're never going to do that. I'm a bud tender and I stand next to the women at my job and they get hit on and I don't get hit on. That's not cool. I'm not offended that you're hitting on my friend over here. I'm offended you're not sharing it around. Just don't try to do it. Maybe they'll pick you up. Maybe they'll pick you up. Maybe you just watched that episode of that old show, The Game, to learn some game. Don't do it. Let your budtender make some money. Tip them. I had somebody try to tip me the other day. And he looked at me and he was like, hey, I got $1. I can tip you or I can give this to a homeless man. Tip the homeless man, I guess? Give me the money and I'll go tip a homeless guy? I don't know. That's a rock and a hard place. Would you rather give money to charity or go miser it in a cave? Take some gold and hide it under your bed. Just tip us. We work hard. 420 was awful. If you got higher than 420, you owe your bud tender at least a penny. I got a guy that comes into my work all the time. He buys for pinatas for to just give out to his friends. He spends $1,000 on stuff to fill up a pinata. Doesn't tip a goddamn penny. I don't know if he's balling. He has a good life, but fuck that guy. Fuck that guy. You spend the equivalent of my rent on a need you're going to give away. Fuck you. That's some bullshit. I'm not saying don't have fun, don't ball out, don't throw money around, but throw a little bit at your server. Throw a tiny bit at your server. Throw some money at your server. I don't work here, but I could. I'll just be outside just yelling this on a bench. Affecting the way the economy goes. Just to tell you a little bit more about the power I have up here, the people with the flashlight left. That's some power. I can start a cult up here. I won't, because cults are a lot of work and they're boring, but I could. I go downtown and I see the Hare Krishnas doing their thing. I don't know if you are a Hare Krishna, but if you're being quiet right now, you probably aren't. The weird thing is I went downtown, the Hare Krishnas were down there doing their thing. They had the bongos going. They were following me a little bit, in and out of different stores and clubs. Okay, trying to convert me. Then across the street, the Christians started doing their thing, being really loud, being very vocal at 9 o'clock at night. A megaphone is no competition for a bunch of bongos. A bunch of bongos will always win in the end. If you want to disrupt some shit, you get to bring a bongo. Don't assassinate a president, bring a bongo. Don't do anything that might scare people, do terror. Just bring a bunch of bongos everywhere that there shouldn't be. Bring a bongo to Disneyland. Bring a bongo to a funeral. Bring a bongo to a funeral, and that's a deadbeat. Thank you. I didn't write that down. That's the notebook I'm not looking at anymore. I didn't write that down. Yeah. I'll never find that again. I'm 4 beers in. That joke is lost to the nethers. Why is there a TV facing the stage?
Karaoke.
That makes sense. I thought people just like sports, and I don't know that. I don't know anything about sports, but I'll tell you everything about the Lord of the Rings or Star Wars. Or who's in a relationship on those TV shows, not in real life. No, I'm talking about characters you would ship on a show that nobody wants to ship. Nobody wants to ship. Shrek and Donkey. That was a couple. I'd watch that rom-com. That rom-com, that donkey rom-com. Would you watch that donkey rom-com? Would you watch a donkey rom-com with me? There's a bunch of yes anders in the crowd. You guys take improv? Fuck yeah. If you ever want to join a cult, let's join an improv group. Fuck yeah. Oh, yes, Angie, right into giving me every dollar that you own. You know what? What's that sound?
I just started it just now.
Boom. That's the power of people leaving to go to the bathroom. They leave me up here. That's my time. My name's Daniel J Blancas. I'll see you later.
Well,